Alrighty, folks, welcome to our NBA free pick video here today for Sunday, January 21st, 2024. Happy Sunday to you. Hopefully you're having a great weekend. And of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks right here on YouTube since 2016. And if you want to see which one of these free plays on these free videos that I actually like the best, you may want to think about signing up for my daily best play on my premium site. It costs just $1.99 for 30 days of service. The math works out to be just 6 cents a day. I'm also hitting at 64% my last 11 NFL tier package picks on that very same site. Now you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on the free videos and what I do on my premium page. Well, what I do here with the free videos is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side, and total. What I do on my premium site is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays on these videos that I actually like the best. Now, if you want to get access to all of my premium selections, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive chairman package. Chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. I'm hitting at 78% my last 19 extra daily picks, 64% my last 11 NFL tier package plays. And finally, folks, I'm hitting at 7-1 in my last 8 college basketball tier package picks. And the good news is I have plays going off in all of those packages here today. And yes, all of those memberships are included with your purchase of the Chairman package. The site is patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into some free content. And we're going to start off with the Nets at the Clippers. That'll be a 3:30 Eastern tip-off. The LA Clippers are minus 11, totals 226.5. Now, the Clippers got the W in 8 out of their last 10. They covered the point spread in 70% of those contests. And I'll tell you what, when the Clippers play at home, great stuff happens. They're currently 17-4 straight up in their own building. They're in the top 3 in the league in home defensive boards. Kawhi Leonard snags over 6 rebounds a game, 44% shooting from three-land. Meanwhile, Paul George is drilling 42% of his long balls. He also leads the roster in points. Now, when it comes to shooting three-pointers, the Clippers currently lead the NBA right now in shooting the deep ball. They're facing a Brooklyn squad on the other side who has all kinds of problems guarding the three-pointer themselves. They're in the bottom 5 in 3 balls allowed per game. And when it comes to rebounding the basketball, well, they don't do that well either. Brooklyn's a bottom 10 defensive rebounding team. Now, injury-wise, Sharp and Whitehead are out for Brooklyn. Zubac and Diabate inactive for the Clips. 4 out of the Clippers' last 5 did get over the line. They were also 4-2 to the over in their last 6 out-of-conference home games. Now, the Nets on the other side, they saw overs recently against the likes of the Lakers, Thunder, and Portland a couple of weeks ago. Give me the Clippers minus 11 over 226.5. All right, next game, Nuggets, Wizards, 6 o'clock Eastern start time. Denver's minus 14, totals 238. And as good as the Nuggets are, well, they've struggled covering the point spread on the road. They're 8-14 against the point spread in their travels this year. That's good for just 36% in that particular category. And even though there's not a ton to nitpick about when it comes to Denver, there are a few problem areas on offense, believe it or not. For one, these guys have been terrible at the foul line. They're making fewer free throws a game than any other roster besides one. The Nuggets are also having trouble scoring points late. They're a bottom 10 point producing team in the fourth quarter. Now, they're facing a Washington club who's one of the better second-half scoring teams in the entire league. And when they play at home, well, the Wizards have been solid from the field. They're in the top 10 in home field goal percentage in their own building, Tyus Jones makes 51% of his field goals, 41% shooting from three land. Meanwhile, Kyle Kuzma leads the organization in points per game. Now, injury-wise, Daniel Gafford's questionable for Washington. Julian Strawther scratched again for Denver. 5 out of the Nuggets' last 8 ball games did get over the total. They're also 60% to the over in their out-of-conference road games. Now, Washington, on the other side, they've gone 67% to the over at the Capital One Arena. Give me Washington plus 14, over 238. Next game, Heat Magic, 6 o'clock Eastern start time. Miami's minus 1.5, totals 215 and a hook. And even though they are slightly favored, the Heat did take the loss in their last 2 straight. They're having their issues on offense this year. Miami's in the bottom 3 in field goals made per game. And when it comes to scoring late in games, well, Miami just doesn't do it. They're averaging fewer fourth-quarter points than any other roster except for one. And they're facing one of the toughest defensive teams in the Eastern Conference in Orlando. These guys are in the top 5 in the East in points allowed per game. When it comes to grabbing rebounds, well, the Magic have been dominant underneath the basket on D. These guys are a top 5 defensive rebounding team in the league. Paolo Banchero leads the roster in rebounds and points. Jalen Suggs is drilling 40% of his three-pointers. And even though the Magic's not known for their offensive prowess, they do have a knack for getting to the stripe. These guys get put to the line more times a game than any other roster except for one. Now, injury-wise, Hero's questionable for Miami. Jaquez is still out. Meanwhile, for the Magic, Harris is out. Franz Wagner could suit up here today. He's been upgraded to questionable with an ankle injury. And out of the Magic's last 7 contests, all of them fell under the number except for one. Now, the Heat on the other side, they went 70% to the under against divisional opponents thus far this year. Give me Orlando plus 1.5, under 216. Next contest, it is going to be Celtics Rockets, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Boston's minus 11, totals 228. And as good as Boston has been this season, they have had some problems covering the number recently. They failed to cover in 4 out of their last 7, and they do have a losing record against the point spread on the road. Out of 21 contests away from the Garden, Boston's covered in just 38% of those games. And they're taking on a Houston club who plays their best basketball in the Toyota Center. These guys are 16-6 on their own court, and they've covered in 68% of those home games. And a lot of that success is due to some super tough defense. These guys are limiting their opponents to just 31% shooting from three land at home. They are best in the league in that particular category. And speaking of points, well, they're giving up only 106 points a game in their own arena as well. That's nearly a league best as well. Alpi Sengun for the Rockets. He leads the current active roster in steals. 6.5 defensive boards a night as well for Sengun. And Jabari Smith Jr., he snags nearly 9 rebounds a night himself. 13 points a game on offense. Now, injury-wise, Bullock is questionable for Houston. Eson's still out. Meanwhile, for Boston on the other side, Horford and Holiday are questionable for them. And when it comes to the total in this one, the Celtics saw their last 3 straight stay under the number. 6-3 to the under in their last 9. Meanwhile, Houston saw unders recently against the likes of the Knicks, Detroit, and Milwaukee. Give me Houston plus 11, under 228. Next game, Pacers Suns, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Phoenix is minus 4.5, totals 248. And I do like the Suns in this spot here. They're currently on a 4-game winning streak, and they're actually grabbing more rebounds on D than any other roster in the league. Yusuf Nurkic snags over 10.5 rebounds a game, 49% shooting from the field. Of course, Kevin Durant, he makes 46% of his three-pointers. He's leading the roster in points. And they're facing one of the worst offensive rebounding teams in the game right now in the Pacers. They're grabbing fewer offensive boards a game than any other franchise except for one. Of course, when it comes to defensive play, that's been the real problem. It's been an absolute nightmare for the Pacers. These guys are dead last in defensive field goal percentage. Now, more bad news. Tyrese Halliburton, he is currently listed as questionable again. Probably not going to suit up. That's the team's leading points getter. Of course, Andrew Nembhard, he's also day-to-day with a back injury. Now, for Phoenix on the other side, Bol and Lee are still out for them. When it comes to the total, the Suns are 14-9 to the over in front of their own fans. While the Pacers are 60% to the over for the entire season, give me the Suns -4.5 over 248. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Blazers-Lakers game. That'll be a 10 o'clock Eastern start time. The LA Lakers are -10.5. Totals 227 and a hook. Now, the Lakers are still playing their best basketball at home. They're 16-8 in Los Angeles, and they're doing a nice job of shooting from the field there. They're currently in the top 5 in the West in offensive field goal percentage at home. Of course, LeBron James averages over 24.5 points a game, 52% shooting from the field. D'Angelo Russell knocks down nearly 41% of his three balls. But they're facing a Blazers team who's certainly not built for a track meet. Portland's currently the worst field goal shooting team in the league. When it comes to point production, no team averages fewer points a game than Portland right now. Now, injury-wise, Simons and Henderson are questionable. Brown and Sharp are still out. Meanwhile, for the Lakers on the other side, AD and Taurean Prince are questionable for them. Now, LA's gone 16-8 to the under in front of their own crowd. Meanwhile, Portland saw unders in 7 out of their last 10. Give me the Lakers -10.5, under 227 and a hook. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Give me the Clippers -11, under 226.5. Washington +14, over 238. Orlando Magic +1.5, under 216. I'm hitting at 64% my last 11 NFL tier membership package picks on my premium site. Houston +11, under 228. Phoenix Suns -4.5, over 248. With my next and final pick for the video, give me the Lakers -10.5, under 227 and a hook. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium site at patreon.com/BrockPage.